Hey kids, Dan here. We are getting set up for On the Line. Sorry for the late start. I had a blinding light of the sun issue today. I was lucky enough I didn't use a camera for Arx Fatalis earlier, but we definitely need the cameras for right now, so I had to figure out how the heck to fix it. Bahamut, no! Don't use that emote! I see that. I'll bring Bahamut in here. Hi, Bahamut. Hi, Dad. I need to fix your camera.
What's wrong with my camera?
I need to fix your camera!
What'd you do to my camera?
I moved it, apparently,
What'd you do that for?
in a way that it didn't appreciate. I have blackout curtains up,
Oh, yeah.
and the blinding light of the sun is still coming through. Where are you? I'm grabbing the sun. There we go. That's so wrong. That's so wrong. So, while I continue to figure out how I can maybe use my skull to block the blinding rays of light out, how have you been, Bahamut? What have you been playing? What have you been up to?
Well, it's been a tumultuous week.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, car's back in the shop. I had to get a new phone, obviously, which I showed you that. Work's been kind of crazy, but it's getting a little better. What else have I been doing? Oh, I got drunk and made a song last night, so that was fun. Yeah. Zeke, Mr. Ezekiel _ I has a YouTube video out because he's created this pimp character called Sweetness.
Yes.
Which, I mean, if you watch Zeke, you know he's a character kind of guy.
Yeah.
But there's a clip of him playing Bloodborne, and he improvs this song about a pimp going down. And after a bottle of Zinfandel, I was like, I need to do something with that. So I did something with that. But you will have to go watch Ezekiel the Third if you want to hear it.
I fear for my life.
I don't even know if he's got it.
Good. Okay.
I emailed it to him, but he responded to my tweet that I made a song, but he didn't respond to the email. So I ain't fucking no telling what that guy's up to. It was fun though.
Who knows?
Who knows?
I have not. I have a technical issue here. Whereas you have. What would you say you have? You have your scotch tonight, yes?
I have my scotch tonight.
Let's see it. Let's see it.
I have, once again, I'm going with Glen Moray, except this time I'm going with the Elgin Classic. It's the cheapest one. It was on sale for like $22. So, cheap scotch. Cheap, good Speyside scotch.
What about, are you much of a Glenfiddich kind of guy?
No, not really.
No. That was the last really good scotch I had.
Yeah. I mean, it is good. It's not my thing.
Fair enough. I, right now, do not have...
I tried to get that sneeze out like 10 minutes ago and it didn't work. Now it caught up with me. Anyway.
I don't have alcohol in front of me right now, which is a problem.
It is a problem, I agree.
Let's fix that problem.
You should fix that problem immediately.
Fix a problem. We're fixing problems here.
I actually have been playing a fun game. I don't know if I talked about it last time. I will actually post the link to it.
Sure. I tonight have some Honkers Ale.
Honkers, huh?
Honkers. Chicago. Honkers. Chicago right here showing up, eh?
I found this game. Very nice. I found this game called Gurumin, a monstrous adventure. And it's what I like the most about it is it's like a straight out of the mid-90s PlayStation 1, Nintendo 64 style, like platforming RPG adventure style thing. It's awesome. It's so much fun. It's real cutesy and kiddie. So if you like darker, more grown-up stuff, then you won't like this. But it harkens back to like Spyro, Quest 64, Gex, Enter the Gecko, you know, all those awesome games that I used to play in like 1996. So it definitely appeals to me. Plus, it's got a great voice cast. It's got an amazing soundtrack. It's got like some really famous people too. It's D. Bradley Baker, Tara Strong. Like everybody knows these voices.
Ooh,
they're on here, so it's a blast. It's a total blast. It's keyboard friendly. I prefer to play with a controller, but it's great. And for the price, it's absolutely outstanding.
it can be done with both.
Do what?
It can be done with both keyboard and mouse and controller.
Yeah, it is. As a matter of fact, the help features and everything are catered to keyboard and mouse. So I have to figure shit out on my own when I use the.
Sucks to be you. That
Yeah.
time someone catered to us. I still,
this is all I need right here. This is on PlayStation.
I still really want Rob to send me one of those old Xbox controllers he has lying around.
Oh yeah, the big dinner plates.
Oh my god, yes.
Well, I don't know why. Those things are awful.
They were wonderful. They're still the only controller to date to fit my hands.
Oh yeah, we've had this conversation before.
Yeah. If I had one of those, I'd be playing a lot of different games, including Metal Slug 3.
Oh yeah.
I'd play the crap out of that.
Oh man. I remember. I actually have fond memories of going to the arcades.
So does Rob,
playing Metal
actually.
Slug.
He remembers this game.
There was a what was it? It was a laser tag place in like the bigger town next to the one I grew up in, where you went to go hang out and do stuff. And I remember it had a bunch of sick arcade games, and that was one of them. Fucking Metal Gear Slug.
Metal Gear Slug.
That sounds awesome, actually.
The ultimate weapon is a box.
Find the camel.
Oh my god. So, anything else you've been playing this week you wanted to mention?
Nah, not particularly. There's a new game my company put out called Spirit Lord that's actually kind of cool.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
It's a mobile game, right?
Yeah, it is a mobile game. It's what we do, and it's kind of like an action RPG. It's got a lot of similarities with like Torchlight, Diablo 3, all that good stuff. It's pretty fun. I like it.
Is it on iPad?
I believe it is. I think it is cross-platform at this point.
Yell at Rob.
Yell at Rob.
Yell at Rob.
What, Rob? What? Why, Rob?
Because he'd want to know about it.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I let him know.
I apologize, folks. I still have a giant glowing orb on my skull. Like right on top of it. Right here. It'll go away soon. I put up curtains. As you can see, there are curtains up. The sun doesn't give any fucks. It's still coming through.
Nope. I mean, you still got what, like an hour and a half of daylight left?
Fuck. This is the unfortunate thing. During spring and summer and early fall, my window is positioned so the sun is like, okay, I have the perfect shot to the back of his skull. We're gonna keep taking it. It's Sun Guardian saying hello. There you go. That's it. That's it.
Nice.
That's
There you
it.
go. He's just hanging out, watching the cast.
On my part, I actually tried a new game out this week.
Did you?
I did. A game called, if I can find it here, Something Magic. Magic gifted to me, one of our viewers, Knights of Pen and Paper +1.
Oh yeah, I actually had that on my phone for a long time.
I'm really enjoying it. It's a fun little game. Yeah.
It is. It's actually really good on mobile. It lends itself very well to cell phones and things like that.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I liked it.
So I had a lot of fun with that. I've had a lot of fun with that. I put about an hour and a half into it.
Yeah.
Just a little bit on the side every so often.
Right.
I mean, no need to, sit down and be like, oh my god, I'm going to play this for hours.
I mean, it can get kind of challenging there for a little bit. Like, the learning curve is a little bit steep if you don't know what you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not kind of just like, it's not this little kiddie-friendly casual game,
It has been fun. Ow.
You do.
That was loud.
What?
Like you smacked your microphone or something.
Oh, did I? I might have.
All right, as long as you know which microphone you're talking into.
There's only one microphone. Just this one.
What about the one on your head?
It doesn't work when it's not plugged in, Daniel.
Sure.
It's not plugged in. I will Freaking.
No, don't. You're gonna break something.
Yeah.
You're gonna break something. I also went back and tried Mountain Blade Viking Conquest.
I have a friend who is just all about that game. I've never played it.
Mountain Blade
I see it
Warband
played
is
constantly.
amazing. Mountain Blade
That's what it
Warband, so good. Viking Conquest was a paid add-on that you could buy for it.
Right.
Not happy with it still.
Really?
No.
Alright.
Mountain Blade Warband is one of the greatest games I've ever played.
Wow.
Love it.
That's big medicine.
Love it. There are so many awesome mods. And it's such a great base to work off of. It really is. Viking Conquest, though, just leaves a lot to be desired.
That's always a shame.
They try to get a little too intricate and detailed with some things, and it just confuddles the whole situation, so...
Unnecessary.
That's the gaming portion of tonight's broadcast.
I will say there's one more thing that everybody I know is hyped for, and that's Mortal Kombat 10. Everybody. People are flipping their shit left and right about this, so...
And rightfully so from what I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be creeping in everybody's MKX stream for a while, because I don't have a PlayStation 4, so just like Bloodborne, I have to live vicariously through my Twitch friends. Which I'm fine with.
I haven't had to live vicariously with Bloodborne.
Really?
I don't like any of those games, so... However, Mortal Kombat X, I've seen some of the X-ray moves and some of the finishes going on with that, and it's just like...
So good.
Did that shit just happen?
Oh, man. Goro's is amazing. Raiden's is awesome. Oh, man. Where he just chucks your ass in the air. Oh,
yeah.
I can't wait, man.
I've seen... the first one I saw was Sub-Zero's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
I have
happy
some
with
friends
that.
who are actually off the day it comes out, but they're still going to come back to work with their PlayStation and the game, and like so we can all just play. That's one of the perks to working at a video game company is you can do shit like that.
Yeah, it's a PS4 exclusive, Doc.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's coming out on PC too.
Eventually.
Eventually, yes.
Much like how eventually GTA 5 is coming out for PC.
Yeah, but it's definitely more so than it's coming out for Xbox, you know. Is it coming out for Xbox One? I know it's coming out for PS3.
GTA 5?
No, Mortal Kombat.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Doc, that's my thoughts on it too. The console exclusive bullshit just gets to me. I can't
Street Fighter
stand
5. Ooh.
I'm not one for fighting games, but even I'm like, Mortal Kombat X looks really good.
Mortal Kombat tends to be the series that people make an exception for if they don't like fighting games. I know a lot of people like that. They're like, I don't really like fighting games, but man, I'm going to get into some Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I mean, that's just good fun.
It's just a good game. That's just it.
Yep.
It's like Smash Bros. It's more of it like there's like games and then there's fighting games. You know, people don't even consider those games half the time. It's like League of Legends.
Yeah.
That's not a game. That's a sport.
It is.
Mortal Kombat 10 is not necessarily. It's one that brings the best of both worlds.
Yeah. And yeah, Miyu, I got my weekend pass and my Afties ticket for TwitchCon today. I was in round 1 of them. It's less than $100.
It doesn't matter. It could be like $10. It's the trip to San Francisco I can't do. Just can't do it.
I don't blame you. I'm not the biggest fan of
afford.
San Francisco. Good sushi, though. Sushi will be good there.
I've never been, but like I just know that given all the shit we have to pay for over the next like several months, it's
not gonna happen.
Possible. No. I mean, that's where like I have friends there. My company headquarters is there.
Mm-hmm.
So I have connections. I just can't afford it.
That sucks. You can't get the company to foot a little bit of it?
Nope. Because if I did, I'd have to work. You're not gonna send little peon low man on the totem pole me all the way to San Francisco just to have me work. Not even worth it. Alas.
So sad.
I'm not worried about it.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm doing it specifically for the social experience. I'm not worried about the events going on, although I'm sure there's going to be some good panels and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be an amazing experience. But yeah, I mean that was even for PAX South for me was the best part. Was
Yeah.
getting to meet everybody and hang out. Loved it.
Yeah, probably no PAX U. The tickets for that are just ridiculously expensive, and add that onto the crazy travel costs for me to get out there. I mean, I had to pick one. And for me, TwitchCon is the most cost efficient. That's what the decision came down to for the most part. Like which one?
I would say it's probably more relevant to your interests in comparison.
Oh, I would love to go to PAX Prime. That would be a ton of fun.
Yeah,
to go
of course,
to.
but this like given that you are a caster and that is such a big part of your life, like I would say TwitchCon might be the better of the focus, for the two. Because
I would want to
video games.
I would want to go to PAX Prime just for all the different news and information that's generated there too.
Yeah,
I would enjoy that, but it really did come down to, all right, which can I afford?
Yeah. I mean, we could barely afford PAX South, and that was like an hour drive. So
if I'm lucky, I'll be going to PAX South.
PAX South
Or
was
it's either going to be PAX South or PAX East next for me.
PAX East is what we're planning for. I don't.
I'll plan for PAX East then. I'd like to get out to the East Coast again.
Yeah, my girlfriend's mom actually lives in Boston, so
Baston.
Baston.
I'd like to do the East Coast. Plus, Texas is too fucking hot.
It's not that hot in February. It was actually really nice. It was like in the 50s.
In February?
In February, yeah.
That's too hot in February.
It's in the 50s.
That's too hot in
nice,
February.
Cool breeze. How is that hot?
It's supposed to be like negatives in February.
It's never negatives here.
That's my point.
I mean, we're already like in the 80s. It was really nice today, actually. It was like 70 something. It was beautiful.
That's too fucking hot.
Dude, do you live in a freezer?
I live in Iowa.
Isn't like the standard comfortable degrees for human beings 72?
That
like,
depends on where they come from.
Paradigm. I've never heard that. I've always heard it was like the
No, there is no standard for human temperature. No. Some of us are a little more warm-blooded than others.
I will give you that. That is definitely true.
Anything above 40 degrees is short-sleeve weather.
Like my girlfriend will sleep on one side of the bed with 3 blankets, and I'm like throwing stuff off because I'm burning up. So I understand the difference in body temperatures, but I mean, Texas in February is probably about the nicest you would find Texas.
Oh yeah, no, I get that.
It's
I get that. Yeah.
I mean, and it was a little rainy, but it wasn't too bad. Like we had to wear jackets the whole time just because we were cold. Jack LaFear's running around in shorts, and I'm just like, Jesus.
Exactly.
Ridiculous. Of course, he's from way up north.
Yeah, he's up north with us. Rom and I are gonna be walking around TwitchCon like, God fucking damn it, it's hot here. And everyone else is gonna be like,
it probably will be pretty warm in San Francisco.
Oh my God. Everyone else is gonna be like, it's just, I need a jacket. It's a little breezy today. And I'm gonna be like, fuck, it's hot.
What day is that?
That is September 23rd, 25th.
Okay, yeah, it'll actually probably will be fairly warm.
Yeah. Well, if we're lucky, it will cool down by then because we're getting into October there.
Right. See, you're sneezing too.
Ow! A second.
Yeah, it's...
Ow.
Why?
Son of a bitch. Talk about the show.
Hey, so there's this show, right? We talk about things and stuff. Actually, I have a book today for it's my turn to do the recipe. We're doing sides today. Side dishes, if you will. And I have one of my favorite cookbooks with me, which is, let me see here if I can check out what the camera is here. This is Tyler's Ultimate.
Oh,
That's,
dear.
Mr. Tyler Florence there.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of him as a chef, but this is a great book.
Oh, it's well written?
It is well written. The recipes are absolutely wonderful. They're pretty unique, actually. He's got a really interesting take on a lot of different dishes. But I have bookmarked the one and only thing I really ever used this book for, and that is the velvet potato puree.
I remember you talking about this. Apparently, this is like the second coming.
Oh man, you don't make potatoes any other way after this. Like mashed potatoes are just. It changes your thoughts, your entire thought process. And even if you can't get like the exact technique down, you'll still like emulate this as best as you can. You know, like for example, this recipe calls for a food mill, a ricer, if you will. And I don't have one of those anymore. I was unfortunate enough to have lost mine in one of my various moves. But they're not super expensive. You can probably get a good one for like $30, and basically all it is like a pot that has an open bottom and top, and it's got a little like thing, like a little churn sort of. Excuse me. And what that does is it attaches to what is basically a cheese grater, a circular cheese grater, and you put whatever it is you want to kind of grate. And you just move it around, and it's got like a little plate that pushes things down. You can.
I know one of those. Okay, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah,
you can use it for a lot of different things. You could take the skins off of tomatoes doing that, and just have like the flesh, and for salsa or tomato sauce or what have you. But what I do with these is I get velvet Yukon Gold potatoes as my favorite, and I'll peel them and quarter them and cook them.
Are we going into the recipe right now?
Yeah, let's go ahead and go into the recipe now.
So first off, difficulty. Is this a complex one?
It's not really complex, honestly, but just like the fact that you have to do several things at once, I would at least say like a 2.5, because not only are you cooking the potatoes, but you're also using the food mill. You're melting butter into cream and everything. It's butter and cream, so you got fats all day, and it's absolutely beautiful. And I'll show you the picture here because the photography is also absolutely wonderful. So this right here is the velvet potato puree, and it is lovely. So as far as the process itself goes, it's pretty simple.
Ow! We lost you. We lost you. Your microphone is all sorts of fucked up.
You hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
What happened?
I need new cables.
I gotcha.
These cables are old. I'll be classy and I'll hold the book like this. Read off to the side. So you need 3 large Yukon Gold potatoes, which they're not big as russets, so they're not huge.
No.
I usually make a bunch. I'd get like 4, maybe even 5 if you have like a smaller one. But you're gonna want to peel them as you do with most potatoes, and quarter them. Honestly, if you have a ricer and you want to do this the way he does it, I would actually cut them up a little bit more, like maybe even like 1/8, just because it does make it a little easier to rice them up. But you're gonna need kosher salt, because that's what I recommend cooking for. Which, by the way, we took a little trip to the Asian grocery store that we love so much, Hana, and we bought a bag of coarse sea salt, like a huge 1.5-pound bag, for like $2. It was amazing.
Really?
Oh god, yeah, dude, it was dirt cheap, and I could have got fine ground too. So we also got like these barbecue pork bao, like the little steamed buns, Oh man, the place is amazing. Anywho, off subject as always. You're going to want a cup of heavy cream. The cream is definitely a big part of the texture. Cream is, obviously a really good way to kind of sweeten things up a little bit. It's just kind of what lends the word velvet to it, aside from the actual flaking that you get with the food mill.
It's a certain specific consistency that comes with mixing potato and heavy cream.
Especially a potato that's been run through a food mill. Like, that is really key. It's not going to taste the same as though you were just... because you could just boil the mashed potatoes and then to where they're nice and soft and just mash them. That's totally fine. I actually do that. That's how I do it because I don't have a food mill anymore. But it's not the same. I won't. I'm going to tell you now, it's not going to have the same texture. Still good, not the same. So you're going to want about half a stick of unsalted butter, because the kosher salt is obviously going to be all the salt you need. That's about like 4 tablespoons, I guess. Freshly ground black pepper, because I love ground black pepper in mashed potatoes. You could also use white pepper, which, if you don't know, white pepper is basically the same. It's just a different age of the peppercorn, and it doesn't leave black specks. Some people like it for the visual aspect. A lot of recipes call for white pepper instead, means they don't want you to see the pepper, but they do want you to taste it. So, fun fact. And then a little extra virgin olive oil. Little EDOO, is that horrible devil woman on TV I hate so much says.
Who says that?
You don't know who says that?
No, who says
fucking
that?
Rachel fucking Ray.
Oh my god.
God, I hate that woman. Cannot fucking stand her. And it's even worse when she makes food that I actually know I'd probably like. I'm just like, "Arr, why? Shut up." Anywho, so you have your potatoes. You're going to want to put those in a medium saucepan over cold water. Just cover them. You don't need to put a specific amount. Just make sure the potatoes are covered. You're going to want to add a teaspoon of the kosher salt, maybe a little bit more if you like extra sodium. I do. I'm a big fat fucker. That's how I roll. You're going to want to bring that to a boil. So when it's, nice and bubbly, and reduce the heat down to like a medium low, and then simmer. So your potatoes are simmering. That's going to be going on for about 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. You'll know they're ready because they'll be nice and soft. What I like to do is take like a little fork or something and just kind of like press them against the edge of the pan. And if it goes right through them, then okay, you're fine. It's perfect. While this is cooking, you're going to want to get your cream, which again is a cup of heavy cream, and the butter, and get a smaller saucepan. And just put those two together and put it over like medium until that butter melts in there. You're going to need to stir it a bit because that butter is going to kind of float at the top.
Yep.
So you want to stir it up, to where the everything mixes together. What are they, lipids, I guess? I forget. I don't know.
I don't actually know what's going on here.
I just like to say that word.
Who the fuck knows anyhow?
All right, chemist. But anyway, this is kind of the magic. This is the magical ingredient.
This is it?
This is really
This
it.
is
I
it.
mean, it's not just, people will just mash up some russet potatoes and throw some butter in it and some salt. Okay, that's fine. Nah, man, this is what makes it. Once you do this, you'll never want to cook potatoes any other way. It's not healthy at all, and that's what makes it good. But once this is nice and melted, your potatoes are soft. Drain them out. Get you a colander or a strainer, whatever you want to call it. Make sure they're nice and strained. And at this point, this is where you will run your potatoes through a food mill. And I don't know, it's a weird technique you kind of have to do because it's a little labor intensive. If you've never used one, it's just a constant circular motion like this. You're just kind of grinding it together. If you have a lot of potatoes, that shit takes a while.
Yeah.
But you're kind of like going a couple of rotations and then you move it backwards because it gets like, mushed up. And then you keep going and going and going, and it's just flaking off onto the bowl below, which, by the way, you do need to put a bowl below it.
Yes.
I'm just going to put it right on top of the counter. It's okay. So, yeah.
Wow.
That's my favorite voice. I love that voice. So, anywho, you got your taters. They're all nice and flaked as they need to be, or mashed. If you don't have one, like I said, perfectly fine. Just make sure it's nice and mushed. I don't like lumpy potatoes.
Who does?
Some people are weird. Some people like the people who like the skins in it drive me crazy. I don't like potato skins in my mashed potatoes.
No.
It's gross. People do. They really do.
I know.
There's like a whole sect of individuals.
I know.
I was looking at that. The doc says wish I had some garlic. Yeah. For this recipe, see, that's another thing. I don't like adding fresh garlic to this recipe like this because it adds like a strange texture. I like garlic powder.
The garlic oil offers a different consistency.
It does.
Texture.
Okay. Yeah, I would prefer to use powder because you don't alter the natural consistency in any way. Whereas if you were to put actual like diced fresh garlic, it would have like little kind of like little bites here and there, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't care for that at all. I mean, I guess you could cook it and make it better, but it's unnecessary. If you like garlic, put some garlic powder in there. I do. I mean, it's great.
Well, there's nothing wrong with doing garlic powder.
Not at all. Nothing at all. I mean, it is easily one of my most used seasonings. I always have garlic powder, onion powder. I always have what do I always have? Cumin. I always have cayenne. I always have paprika. You know, you can do so much with just those. But yeah, a little garlic powder in there, just like a couple teaspoons. You don't need much. But anyway, once this is all, you know, texturized to your preference, and your cream and butter mixture is nice and melted and stirred up, basically, all you got to do is get a nice spoon, wooden spoon, whatever you like, a spatula, whatever, and slowly drizzle that cream and butter mixture in there while stirring. And you do that until it's the exact texture, you want. I've actually often found that the cup of heavy cream with the butter is a little much. I don't like them that like wet and mushy. Some people do. It'd be really super. At that point, if you were to use all of it, I think it would be a little bit closer to something like grits, maybe. But I kind of hold off just a little bit. Maybe like, I don't know, like a fourth of a cup, if that. Probably a little bit less. And yeah, I mean, at that point, you got it. You want to toss in a little salt, the pepper that you prefer. If you're going to use black pepper, always fresh ground, best way to go. But yeah, I mean, you could honestly do anything with it. You could throw bacon bits in there, you can throw cheese in there, whatever you want to do, but it's just so good. Like, this is the ultimate mashed potato to me.
You could. Correct me if I'm going too far. I don't think I'm going too far.
All right.
But correct me if I'm going too far.
Okay, I will.
We take the mashed potato, we smash it with bacon bits, we load it with cheese, with green onions, and that nice big dollop of sour cream on top.
You and your damn green onions.
Yes!
I actually made some really awesome Vietnamese fried rice with green onions the other night. I thought you would like.
Yeah.
I had some Vietnamese sausage in there. It's real sweet. Oh, it's amazing. At that point, with all of those ingredients, you would completely lose the velvet texture. That would be gone. It would have a great combination of flavors, and it would be extra super delicious. But the texture is kind of important with this recipe. So I would have to say, if you're going to do that, don't even bother with a ricer. Just mash it regular.
Okay.
Yeah, because at that point, the texture isn't so much a concern. Putting bacon and cheese and sour cream is going to destroy that texture, that velvet texture. But I will say that that would be absolutely delicious. So ain't nothing wrong with that.
I like to load up my potatoes. I like to put everything in them.
I understand.
Potatoes are a wonderful carrying device for other foods.
They really are. I agree wholeheartedly. One of the old restaurants I used to work at did a couple of different like potato skins. They would do like the classics, you know, cheese, bacon, sour cream, all that good stuff. But then they did an Italian one that was really good. It was mozzarella, pepperoncinis, olives, and they served it with like either a tomato or an Alfredo dipping sauce. So those are really good.
Interesting.
They did Italian nachos, which I had never seen in another restaurant before. Italian nachos are awesome. They're basically, you just get instead of regular, like, you know, tortilla chips, you do crispy wontons. And then you do your mozzarella, basically the same thing. Your mozzarella, your pepperoncinis, your olives, ground Italian pork, and yeah, that's really all you need. But yeah, those are just Italian nachos. Those are really good.
There you go.
In a long time.
There you go. I'm just thinking about different things I can put on nachos, and I know that's not what you were trying to go for with that conversation.
Well, I mean, it's hard not to think about nachos once the subject comes up. You know, I understand.
Do you like Reubens?
I like Reubens. Okay,
I like Reubens.
They're not bad. I'm not the biggest sauerkraut fan, to be honest.
Okay, so you probably won't enjoy this too much, but you take Swiss cheese, diced up corned beef, and Thousand Island dressing on top of nachos.
I don't know. That would be weird.
Reuben chose.
Don't call them Reuben shows. Do not call those Reuben shows. Reuben nachos would be even better.
Reuben nachos?
Reuben nachos. Reuben nachos. I would try them. I'd put it that way. I'll try.
I like them. I love them personally.
Oh, you have done them before?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I enjoy them.
I wasn't sure if this was just like speculation or if this is something you had actually done.
No, I've actually done this before. I put a lot of random shit on nachos because I have to be careful about spiciness. I've tried to find other things I can put on them.
I'm sure that's led to some really interesting creations, though.
Yes. Like diced up ham and cheese and mac and cheese on top of nachos.
Mac and cheese nachos, I could totally see as a thing.
Oh. Especially when they're a little runny and you need to use the extra sauce kind of like for dipping. Oh my god.
Avocado crab salad.
Wow.
Yeah. That looks amazing. I haven't looked through this in like a year.
That's intricate. So, you guys are probably wondering why we start out talking about, of all things, mashed potatoes. Well, first off, it's not mashed potatoes, it's velvet potatoes.
I know this is probably, I hate to go back to another picture, but Jesus Christ, Dan, look at this.
Whoa, what's that?
That is bocconcini tied with prosciutto.
Wow.
Yeah, there's little mozzarella balls.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a good book. It was an expensive book. It was like $35 book. But it's got some absolutely delicious recipes. It's called Tyler's Ultimate because he had a show. I don't know if he still has the show actually.
I don't think he still has the show.
Yeah, probably not. This was a long time ago. And that was it. It was Tyler's Ultimate. So he had like Ultimate this, Ultimate that. He did Ultimate Burgers. I think the Ultimate Burgers are actually in there. They're not really that ultimate. They're just burgers with like heirloom tomatoes because he's a fucking hipster. But yeah, that's a great book. I would highly suggest that. I'm gonna go make that fucking crab salad. Good God. That looks so good.
So the reason we started right away talking about mashed potatoes, of all things, and like I said, it's not mashed potatoes, it's velvet potatoes.
Velvet taters.
They're not actually mashed unless you don't want to follow the recipe, and that's okay. Then that's your choice. You're allowed to. You are allowed to.
Indeed.
We're talking about side dishes tonight. We've spent a lot of time talking about, oh, this great sandwich or this great steak or these different entrees. You have to show love to the partners at times.
Support team.
Because every good meal has that entree and a couple sides to make sure it's stepping its game up.
2-to-1 outnumbered, man. They're occasionally the stars of the show.
At times.
At times.
Whether it's some kind of jambalaya shrimp dish with that side of asparagus really finishing it off in a major way. Or let's say you're going with some kind of steak meal and you want some really good roasted red potatoes to go with it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, spice them up. Even I don't like red potatoes, and even I'm like, that's really good.
I was just thinking that. Like I remember you saying.
I know I don't like red potatoes, but even then, if you spice them right and you make them nice and crispy and delicious,
man, a little black pepper, a little rosemary.
I like to put a little olive oil on them.
Oh yeah,
a little olive oil. Oh my goodness, yes. Every good meal has those partners, has those compatriots that stick with it to the very delicious end. Now, we can start with the basics of like what you pair with this kind of protein.
Of course.
Or what you pair with this kind of meal. So let's just start out with some basics, some very, very basics.
Okay.
Chicken. Let's just say roast chicken. Not getting
so like
too
an
specific.
American style chicken.
Yeah.
Because something else that really does throw your dish for a loop is nationality. You know, a Mexican chicken, an Asian chicken, Eastern European chicken, an American chicken. They're all going to have different types of sides, but it's the same protein. So, an American chicken dish is going to have, you know, some pretty typical sides that most of the people who are watching us, statistically speaking, have probably tried before.
Oh yeah. one thing that one that is exceptionally common, especially throughout the United States, is just a very basic vegetable mix.
Absolutely.
Now, whether it's steamed or sautéed, chances are you've just had a general veggie mix. Now, usually those include something like zucchini, squash, maybe asparagus, maybe mushrooms,
broccoli, peas,
broccoli,
carrots.
Yep. Now, personally, I love sautéed veggies.
Absolutely.
A little bit of butter in there, get some seasonings going on, get some basil, get some garlic powder. Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah. Now, in my opinion, the secret for great sautéed veggies, don't be afraid to let the edges get a little crusty.
Oh yeah.
Don't be afraid.
Honestly, like if I had a choice of like preparation for the veggies, I would prefer grilled to sautéed because I would like a little bit of char.
That makes perfect sense. Absolutely.
I like cauliflower with some black ends. I like that bitter kind of twinge to it.
Sure.
Because bitter is one of the least appreciated flavors, and you need bitter to balance.
We lost you there for a second. Could you say that again?
Sorry. I'm gonna fix this, by the way. No, that's fine. I'm gonna go get another fucking cable. This is ridiculous. What's pissing me the hell off, and I don't like it. But yeah, like a little bit of char on your veggies of any kind, really. Like I said, cauliflower is the one, but bitter is it's in a very important flavor. A lot of people don't like bitter. They're scared of bitter because by itself, it probably doesn't taste very good, but it is necessary to balance out a lot of dishes. So I think a good charred veggie, tomato, onion, cauliflower specifically, that's a great mixed veggie side.
Absolutely. And taking that little extra bit of bitter, combine it with the oil that's going on, usually an olive oil in my opinion, and some of the seasonings, a salt, a garlic powder, some kind of more Italian seasonings especially, it balances out so well.
Absolutely. Pasteurized chicken product. I mean, not too far from the truth, really.
No, it's pretty accurate, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, American chicken's really gross.
Sorry, Rob. What you said is accurate.
Yeah. I was trying to think. There's a lot of fun things you can do with like different veggies in general.
You can't. Oh yeah.
Broccoli and cheese is probably one of my favorite combinations. Actually, my dad he makes probably one of our most traditional family sides.
You've told us about this before.
Yeah, the broccoli, rice, and cheese casserole. Yeah, that is every family get together. We have that. So it's become like a staple. Super easy to make. It's just, cheese whiz, broccoli, rice, and cream of mushroom soup. That's literally it.
That's crazy.
I know it is, but it's so good. It never lasts. It's always the first thing to go. So that's a great side. I was also thinking, if we're going along, you did mention asparagus. That's another one I like to grill, and I love. It's good when you wrap it in bacon, obviously, because it's bacon and it's amazing.
That's true.
Think prosciutto is better because the texture is a little bit different. It's thinner. It's a little more crisp when you wrap it around.
Yep.
Whereas when you grill bacon, it still stays a little bit soft.
Yeah.
Plus, one of my favorite things to do is getting the leftover bits of prosciutto if you're like baking it specifically, and it's eating those like little meat chips.
Oh my God.
So good. It's so good.
It is. It really is. Prosciutto, the cook time for asparagus pretty well too.
It does. It really does.
Surprisingly enough. Yeah, with bacon, you usually have to overcook the asparagus. With prosciutto, it matches up really well.
Right.
Also, if you're going to be talking about grilled veggies, we're not talking about a standard slice or a half moon or a long slice cut. We're talking about planked veggies, which I think people don't really appreciate.
Yeah, I suppose so.
We don't. You see all these kinds of different slices, ways to slice, especially things like zucchini and squash, as I mentioned earlier.
Absolutely.
If you're gonna grill veggies, don't be afraid to plank them out. You're getting a little more area and surface area to cook.
Right.
But that gives you a greater possibility of different textures and flavors that you can have happening. That's
just
really
because
important.
I mean, that's the kind of you don't see stuff like in the frozen food section.
Exactly.
Which, suffice it to say, is where a lot of people in America get their veggies, and it's a damn shame too because that stuff's awful.
Yeah.
When you have fresh vegetables just right down like the aisle, and you still choose frozen. It's like, it's not good, man.
Yeah. Plus, if you're talking about per pound cost, fresh vegetables are probably going to be a little cheaper.
Probably. Depends on what's in season. That's another thing.
That's true.
Things aren't always in season, so price does vary.
Yeah.
Fruit are a little worse about that, I tend to find. But I mean, you'll find the price of avocado is terrible about that.
Yeah.
Holy shit, avocado fluctuates so bad.
I'm glad I don't really like avocado.
Really?
I don't have to deal with that. That is an addiction I don't need.
I don't know if I'm addicted, but I do know I loves me some avocado.
I know a lot of people who are obsessed.
We actually did my first handmade sushi the other night.
Really?
I made sushi for the first time. It was awesome. I loved it. It was so fun. We bought a little mat and everything. So, but we did mostly veggie. We didn't really think about it at the time, so we just kind of bought a bunch of random shit. But there was no avocado at the Asian grocery store. So next time, I've got like salmon. I'm getting some tuna. I'm bringing everything to the table. I'm gonna make some tempura. But you bet your ass.
Fresh shrimp tempura is magical.
Oh, so good.
Oh,
I'm gonna have some fun.
Yeah,
that, I think.
I am notoriously simple for what kind of sushi I like.
Really?
Yeah. So, do you know names of rolls?
Yeah.
Pretty well. So, for all the different sushis I've tried, for the 17 types of dragon roll, and all sorts of deep fried rolls, and all the other more exotic, like eel. Eel is delicious.
Oh, unagi? Oh, are you kidding me?
Unagi rolls with a little bit of eel sauce on the side. Yeah.
To die for. Oh,
I like.
Bitter. It's a little bit bitter.
It has that nice twinge of bitterness. Yeah.
It's beautiful. I love that sauce.
My favorite roll's a Philly.
You like the Philly?
I love Philly rolls.
All right.
And no, it's horrible.
It is.
Because it's Philly roll to me means smoked salmon, cream cheese, and green onions. That's it.
I mean, you're getting like lox and bagels, except instead of bagel, the grain is rice.
And I'm fine with that.
I mean, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it at all. It's just interesting.
It's just for some reason that is my absolute favorite roll.
I can see it though because those are excellent ingredients. I absolutely love smoked salmon and cream cheese. It's just not so much in salmon, but I have my preference. And, more often than not, you'll see it in a lot of different kinds of sushi places. It'll have some kind of dancing salmon or dances with salmon.
Yeah.
But it's salmon on the outside, on top, salmon and avocado on top, and then obviously just the rice with no nori, no seaweed.
Okay.
And in the middle will be cucumber and crab stick.
Ooh.
That right there. Sometimes they'll do like a little spicy like cream sauce on top.
Ooh.
God, it's so good.
Interesting.
Heavenly. There's some variation of it at every place, and I always get that.
How'd we get from side to
we always do that? I was just thinking about that. We went from side to fucking sushi. That was my fault, though. I believe I was.
That's okay. No, that's okay. Because I think next week, you know what we're going to talk about?
Are we going to talk about it?
I think we're going to need to talk about some different seafood ways, right. some ways to prepare seafood. And while sushi is not technically seafood,
it has ingredients that are from
it has a lot of ingredients that are seafood. Sushi is not seafood.
It's its own food.
I certainly think next week we are going to have to spend some time on sushi and going through all the different varieties and types.
Something I believe the two of us are very passionate about sushi.
Oh,
so
I rolled sushi as a job for just over half a year.
Right. And I have eaten sushi for many, many years.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm a fucking Japanophile half the time, so.
Oh.
I love that shit.
Now I want salmon. I fucking want salmon now.
We have some salmon in the freezer. I don't know what I could do with it, but we do have some salmon in the freezer.
I know what I would do with salmon right now. And this
you know
actually
what I
taking
used
this
to say.
back to side dishes. One thing I love pairing with both chicken, as we were talking about, veggies and fish, is just some form of either a white rice or a dirty rice.
Yeah, one of the things I was actually thinking about was like a rice pilaf, which is a pretty standard American rice side.
Yeah, yeah. I keep it really simple with my rice for the most part, where
Yeah.
I really won't play with it too much beyond either putting some kind of protein in it as well, or maybe putting some veggies in it
Yeah.
throughout the cooking process.
I got you.
I won't put like a sauce with it. I simply don't.
Okay.
I know I'm weird like that.
That's not that weird though.
I take that back though. I will do cheesy rice.
See, that's one thing I know a lot of people who got into, and I don't like it. I've
Really?
never cared for that combination. I don't know why. It's just something about just rice and cheese is weird to me. I don't know. There's
Fair
no
point.
logic behind it. That's just how I feel, I guess.
Pulled chicken, white rice, just any kind of cheese sauce, whether it's cheddar or a Colby Jack or whatever,
All right.
and maybe a little bit of onion powder.
Good flavor.
I like that mix a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that if it was like the base of that, and you have the pulled chicken right on top with the cheese and everything. I could totally get down with that.
Yeah, no, I mix it all together.
Yeah.
Just turn it all.
Gotcha. That's
Oh, my
another thing
goodness.
that people, Americans, but a lot of people in the South specifically, we love to do that shit. We just mix everything together. Like I don't know how many times I would go out to like eat with my dad, and he would just be like, "Well, this is going on the fork, and then this, and then this, and then this." It's like that. All 3 or 4 pieces of the dish was on the fork before it went into his mouth.
That's the best part of a meal.
I'm telling you, man. There's a couple things I'll do that for too. But
Yeah.
for the most part, I tend to stick to individual items.
Now, as we were saying earlier, proteins are generally what you have to focus on pairing with when it comes to choosing your sides. We talked a little about chicken there. What other sides do you prefer for fish? We talked about rice a little bit there.
Yeah.
Are there any other ones that you really like to hit on for fish?
It kind of depends on the fish. For
Well,
salmon,
let's say teriyaki salmon.
teriyaki salmon. For teriyaki salmon, I would actually, you know what? White rice would be good with that one. For teriyaki salmon, what else would be good? I would maybe want to do some kind of like Asian style slaw.
Ooh.
I
Yeah.
would do some red cabbage, some carrot, some cucumber.
Some kind
maybe
of
even-
fresh, zesty side to go with it.
Yeah, I would do like even some Japanese pickled cucumber or daikon, and I would toss that with a little bit of soy, a little bit of sesame oil, a little bit of sugar, maybe. Yeah, just toss that right up, nice and fresh.
Ooh.
That would be a really good side for a teriyaki salmon.
Yeah. Salmon is one of those things that, in my opinion, really epitomizes what fish can do as a food.
Absolutely.
Like, a lot of people think, well, salmon's kind of boring. It's what a lot of people eat. Well, that's because it really is flexible. It can be cooked so many different ways. Like, I love grilled salmon.
Absolutely.
Grilled salmon is amazing.
Apparently, we are torturing poor Moscow. Hi.
I don't feel
Moscow, by the
bad.
way.
Moskill.
Moscow.
That's another wonderful mad chatter right there. If I could get a mad chatter command from my
Please,
mods,
Moscow said,
please.
learn, enjoy, embrace the hunger.
We're trying to educate your ass.
That's our new slogan. Embrace the hunger. Wait. Embrace the hunger.
I think Jack has that copyrighted.
Oh, he doesn't have embrace anything except for death. We can't do that. We can't go embrace death. Well, I can find another word for it.
Okay, I'm fine with that. I'm cool. I'm chill. Whatever.
Hi, Psycho.
Getting back to grilled salmon, because that's something I'm really passionate about,
You got a
especially
real boner for some grilled salmon, I can tell.
during the summer. One of the first things I will cook, even before like grilling out some burgers, I'll get some salmon on the grill. Like late spring. Oh.
Now,
Oh.
how do you put it on the grill? Do you just do direct?
Now here's the thing. In my opinion, this is how the best way to do grilled salmon. Get a pan out. This is gonna sound crazy. Get a pan out, get a little bit of olive oil in it, get it on the grill.
Okay.
Get it nice and hot. Get the salmon in the pan on each side for about 30 seconds. Let it start to seal just a little bit, and then take the pan off the grill, re-grease the grill, and set the salmon on it. So before the salmon actually hits the grill itself, it started to seal. It started to cook to the point where all that liquid isn't going to instantly attach to the grill.
Right. It's a very fatty meat. You have to worry. You have to watch about how that makes contact with the heat.
Yes.
Something I've always wanted to try with salmon on the grill or otherwise is like a salt plank. That would be interesting. Honestly,
I've done cedar plank before.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. But they make like salt planks, like planks made of salt, like a big salt lick, you know, for like horses. Only not, you know, horse food, obviously.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's something I've seen a long time ago. It really intrigued me. Moving back onto sides,
right?
It really does depend on the fish and how the fish is prepared. Because obviously, with a grilled salmon, a teriyaki salmon, you know, it's pretty standard what you kind of want. But if we're going to move on to what I am most familiar with, having grown up on fried fish. We always grew. My family is hunters and fishermen. You know, that's what we did. We have a lot of venison, a lot of turkey, a lot of catfish, a lot of bass. You know, we grew up. I grew up eating that primarily.
Oh yeah,
it was free for the most part.
Hey, you caught it yourself. What else are you gonna do with it?
Exactly. I mean, the lakes we used to fish at, you know, the limit was 75 a person. So 75 fish a person, and there was 4 of us on average. So we come on with a lot of fish.
You could just have at it, Hoss.
Absolutely. But that's when it comes down to one of my favorite down home southern sides for that is specifically my grandma's hush puppies. Oh man.
You've mentioned these before.
Have you never had a hush puppy?
I've never had a hush puppy.
That hurts my soul.
They don't exist here.
You would love them.
I bet I would.
Just a ball of cornmeal with like onions and spice on the inside, and it's savory and it's like hot and it steams when you break it open. Oh my god! I'm gonna have to get her recipe for that one day. That's amazing. The standard fish and chips.
Oh yeah,
a great thing. I love fries with my fried fishes. We would also do like a lot of really standard southern go-tos, like green beans, for example, was always one we had with fried fish.
Green bean casserole.
Not the casserole. I don't do that shit. No, I'm not into casserole. I don't like the onions and the mushroom, blah, blah, blah. None of that. I just need green beans. That's all I need. I'm a simple man. I don't need to complicate things with cream and mushroom soup. I like just regular sauteed green beans. None of that French cut shit. I mean fresh.
That's understandable. Catastrophe. Hush puppies are balls of cornmeal and certain vegetables and seasonings that have been deep fried.
Mano's from Texas. He knows what's up. Mano knows exactly what I'm talking about. Manivore, have you ever been to a Catfish King? Have you ever been to one of those? I'm sure I would be willing to bet money that he has. Or if he hasn't, he's been to somewhere that had those. I'm actually, you know what? You might hear me go out. I'm gonna fuck with this cable here real quick.
Okay, I'm gonna talk a moment here while he tries to figure out what's going on.
Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because this shit is just not.
Are you unhappy?
I am unsatisfied. I wouldn't say I'm unhappy.
Okay.
Hush puppies. Let's see here. There's hushpuppies.com. I don't think that's actually what I'm looking for. So the standard thing for hush puppies, a hush puppy is a savory food made from cornmeal batter that is deep fried or baked, rolled as a small ball, or occasionally other shapes. Hush puppies are frequently served as a side dish. They are not healthy, by the way. These things are fucking terrible for you. God damn it. I hate to click on this recipe because I hate this woman.
Who is it? Who is it?
Paula Deen.
Oh, Paula Deen.
She is a domestic terrorist. She is. This woman is evil. She is out to kill America.
Let's slap just another couple pounds of butter on it, honey.
I hate her with every fiber of my being as a human,
Yeah.
like just, as a cook. Yeah, it's an okay one, I guess. This is not the best recipe, actually. I don't like her. Deepfriedfood.com. What?
Yes!
Oh my God, there's a website for it.
Greatest website ever.
Now here we go. This is the hush puppy that I know and love. I'm gonna post that in chat right there. Yeah, it's Jiffy cornbread mix, an onion, some buttermilk, very important, baking soda because you have to have baking soda with buttermilk, an egg, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of flour, some salt, some pepper, some breadcrumbs, and a little bit of green bell pepper. It says optional. It's not.
No.
Put that shit in there. But yeah, you're just mixing all that shit together and just fucking frying it. It's so good, and that goes perfectly with fish, fried fish. It's absolutely outstanding.
When it comes to fish, I love fried cod and fried catfish. Oh,
Absolutely, I concur.
a lot of people look at me sideways for loving catfish. Love me some catfish.
Fuck that. Catfish is well, I could see why some people have like a stigma about it because catfish are not the most wholesome of aquatic creatures.
Who gives a fuck?
Exactly. They're plentiful and they're tasty.
Yeah.
And they're cheap.
Oh my god. I could drive 7 minutes to the Mississippi and fish up some.
My grandparents live behind a lake, so
I love catfish. So, fried cod or fried catfish, the thing I'm going to always pair with that until the day I die, just a big, huge pile of fries.
yeah,
Big, huge pile of fries.
absolutely.
Now, French fries, speaking of sides, traditional American side. Traditional. No matter if it's a burger or a sandwich, or maybe some fried food as we're discussing, maybe some fried chicken.
Mm.
There's a good chance, even a steak, you're going to try and pair it with some fries.
It really does match just about everything.
It matches so many things, but you have to do fries right, in my opinion.
True.
It takes certain touches. Certain
I can say
touches.
that. There are certain
Um,
cuts of fries that match better with other kinds of food. You know.
Now, whether it's the home fry cut, which is the large, thick cut of fry that's kind of flat on one side but thick on the other, or you're going with more traditional Americanized fries, like commercial fries, where they are the longer, skinnier ones that fry a little bit faster, know what you're getting into. Understand what you're getting into, because all of them can be incredibly delicious. I prefer the longer, thinner fries that you fry yourself.
I do too, actually.
Yeah, while
Definitely.
absolutely love baked fries and the home fries and different forms of them, especially home fries, they're just a little too mushy in the middle for me.
Right.
I like that crispiness throughout, and I just don't get that with most other cuts. Waffle
Actually,
fries
yeah, I
are
mean,
good, though.
I agree with that because I think I love home fries, but I love French fries, and they are very different. You know, I love crunch in my fries.
Yeah.
Absolutely love crunch. I hate mushy fries. That's one of the reasons I've never been able to really get into these burger joints that people love so much.
Yep.
In-N-Out and Five Guys, because their fries are just mush. They're just awful.
Yep,
The
that's
burgers
true.
are amazing, but just like, ugh.
Yeah, the thing I love about Five Guys is they just pour fries in the bag.
Yeah, we have one right down the road, or we did have one right down the road from us. Texas
Yeah.
doesn't really have a lot of In-N-Outs or Carl's, so we have Five Guys. We have a bunch of Five Guys.
We don't have, unfortunately here, we don't have Five Guys, we don't have In-N-Out, we don't have Carl's Jr.
You don't have anything.
We have Hardee's. which
Hardee's is
Car-
kind of like a Carl's. Isn't it?
It's the same company.
Yeah.
Anywho, the secret to good fries. This is important, guys. I'm about to give you the secret to good French fries.
Listen
Really
up, everybody.
good. This is complex, but it's worth it. Bahamut, do you know what blanching is?
I do.
Could you explain to the audience what doing a blanch is?
Well, it's different for fries because generally when you blanch fries, you do it in oil. So,
yes, yeah.
I mean, that's how I cook when I do fries and I blanch them. I oil blanch them. So
Fair
like
enough.
it's a low heat oil blanch. Now, like if you were to use like a vegetable or something, blanching them is just like boiling water kind of.
Yeah.
But you can do that with potatoes. Yeah, it's just you're soaking them in the super hot water. And it's kind of like, moisturize, I guess. But when you do it with fries, generally when you have, because I think in restaurant terms, so you have your fryer on low, which is like 300 degrees, and you're throwing them in there and just kind of letting them blanch. Now you're not really cooking them.
No, this is not a cooking process.
They're just heated and soaking.
Yeah.
So that's it kind of gets a lot of this like starchy shit out of it.
Yeah.
But it's not a cooking process.
Exactly. So
really.
What you're doing with your fries, let's say you get a bag of French fries, the traditional cut French fries that are long, skinny fries. Take them out of the bag, put them in cold water, like really cold salt water, for maybe a half a day, maybe 6 hours, depending upon how much crunch and how much sodium you're trying to pull out. How much starch you're trying to pull out of the fry. Burger King is what I'd normally eat. I haven't had any fast food in months, though.
I honestly don't ever eat fast food anymore.
I miss it. I want to get some. I crave it.
I live within walking distance of a Taco Bell and a McDonald's because they're next to each other. They're side by side. I just walk over there and get it. I just don't. I used to live right next to a Jack in the Box, and I kept that place in business. I was eating there all the fucking time.
Yeah.
I even gave up red meat for a month just to see what would happen, and I still got chicken sandwiches from that goddamn place.
So you're going to take your fries, however much you get, and you're going to soak them in very cold salt water for 6 to 12 hours, depending upon, again, how much starch you want to pull out of the fry. And then you're going to dry them out and then drop them in your oil. Or if you want to do boiling water, it works. It's just not going to come out quite as crispy. Anywho, you're going to want to drop them for maybe a fifth of the normal cook time for a French fry. Now, whether that, again, is water or oil is your choice. Oil is going to work a little bit faster. So maybe take it back to maybe a sixth of the normal cook time. So let's say I normally cook fries 5 to 5.5 minutes.
Okay.
So when I blanch them, I take about a minute of that and say, all right, that's my blanch time. Then you're going to take them out of that heated source, whether, again, oil or water, dry them off, and instantly freeze them. Go straight into the freezer with them. Then, once they're chilled...
You're shocking the shit out of them. Because you're immediately stopping that cooking process.
Yep, you must stop the cook process. If you can do it while it's wet still, if you can put them in the freezer while they're wet still, it might be better, but they're going to stick together something fierce, so it's best to dry them off. It's going to be best to dry them off.
Pat them down.
As soon as they're completely frozen through, you're good to fry them. And it comes through with the perfect, light, crunchy, almost effervescent fry.
Effervescent.
I'm not using that word properly. I know I'm not. I don't care. I really don't care.
It's just a really good word, regardless of how you use it.
I like it.
It's a good word. Fuck it. Effervescent's the word we're going with.
Anywho, that's my instructions for the perfect fry. And blanching a potato, it's difficult. It is difficult, so it's going to take a couple times to get it right.
Yeah.
You have to figure out, okay, did I soak it a little too long? Is it, because even just maybe an hour too long on soak, and you're going to pull too much starch out.
Right.
And it's going to make it inedible.
You're going to have gross, wrinkly French fries.
Yeah. And as a side note, too, waffle fries. Oh!
I love waffle fries.
I'm sorry. if you can come up with a better carrier, a better bringer of food from a plate or a dipping bowl to your mouth, I have yet to find it.
I agree. We when I was managing a restaurant, we actually used to keep a secret stash of Chick-fil-A chicken fillets. Like, we found their provider and would order a box of the Chick-fil-A chicken, patties.
Wow.
Just for us, just like secret stash, just to fucking make like sandwiches. I used to eat Chick-fil-A, homemade Chick-fil-A sandwiches all the time. It was so fucking good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So going back to American sides, are there any we need to really hit on that we haven't?
My American sides.
What are you doing to that scotch?
Drinking it is what I'm doing.
Clearly.
What, have you not met me, by the way? Have we been introduced here?
Who the fuck are you and what am I doing here?
You're lucky I'm not fucking just taking pulls off the bottle. Well, that's the funny thing. There's a lot of American sides that I hate. One that stands out in particular is creamed corn.
Oh yeah.
It's so fucking gross.
Ugh.
Like, ugh.
Yeah, it tastes terrible.
There's
There's
a lot
no
of
good
things that
reason for
people
cream
like.
corn.
Yeah, exactly. Don't eat that shit. Ooh, you know what? There was one recipe that I don't necessarily know if it counts as a side.
Do you need time to find it?
I don't. I already had it pulled up. It's on Imgur, and it's something they call the dragon egg. I'm gonna post it right now. And I am an Imgurite, by the way. I'm on that website constantly. It's like a savory breakfast meringue.
What?
It's absolutely fascinating to me. You separate your yolk and your whites, 3 whites for 1 yolk, and then you do salt and the thing. You whisk it, you whip it up to where it's nice and fluffy. You add pepper, and then you add Parmesan. And then what you do is you kind of like make a little nest of the meringue. Like, just kind of like do a little, kind of like when you make dough, you put the egg, the stuff in the middle, the wet in the middle, and then you kind of, do your thing. Well, you put the Parmesan and the egg right in the middle of this. And this person uses, they call it chili con carne. That's not chili con carne. That's probably chorizo sauce. But anyway, and you put your egg yolk right there in the middle of it, and just the egg yolk itself, like on top of the meat. And then you kind of like cover it up. And then you put some spices on top, like they use paprika and cumin, and just season that on top and bake it at 350 for about 10 minutes. And then you just cut it open and it oozes out. Ugh, I want to try this so bad because it just sounds phenomenal. It looks amazing. I'm thinking that's got to be a thing this weekend.
There you go. White Wolf's asking us about prosciutto wrapped asparagus. We actually already talked about that.
We did. We actually just spoke about that. It's good. Always do it.
Yes. He's suggesting balsamic vinegar drizzle over top.
I would actually do a balsamic reduction.
Yep.
Personally.
Yep. I don't use straight balsamic vinegar.
Yeah, it's too strong.
The balsamic reduction, you have so much more complexity going on other than just straight balsamic.
And you can usually buy a reduction. You don't necessarily have to make it. But yeah, absolutely. A balsamic reduction would be absolutely phenomenal with that. Yeah. I love balsamic. I made a balsamic barbecue sauce one day. Oh.
Speaking of barbecue sauce, and I want to kind of head this direction. You live down in Texas. You've seen a lot of barbecue in your time already.
I have.
Your short time on Earth as is. There are a lot of traditional sides that go with barbecue.
Absolutely.
And some of them are just downright perfect. I think the one everyone is going to recognize, well, 2 really, besides Hush Puppies, which isn't really recognized much in not Texas.
Yeah, and not really barbecue.
Yeah.
It's not barbecue side.
Coleslaw and mac and cheese.
Of course. And there's a couple I can definitely add to that as well. But coleslaw and mac and cheese, you see that in every single barbecue joint in America.
And sometimes it is just the greatest thing to go with that slightly spicy pork. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I'll tell you my all-time favorite barbecue side, and that's because I grew up eating it too, but I fucking adore fried okra.
Ooh.
Oh my god, I
Ooh.
love fried okra. It's so good, and it is the most amazing side for barbecue. It's so good, and I know Mano knows what's up. I guarantee you, he's eaten it a time or two. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, man, that's just like that. Macaroni and cheese, and the okra are gonna be my two sides every time. Doesn't
There
matter.
you go.
Every time.
White Wolf also brings up pork and beans.
Pork and beans is a
Pork
standard.
and beans. Now, mac and cheese and pork and baked beans share a couple things in common. One, they have a delicious fucking sauce. They have delicious fucking sauce with them. Although they are not similar in sauce flavors, they are both saucy and delicious.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Also, they also share the fact that you can put a lot of shit in them, and it's just
buddy.
going to make it better.
You could put them together.
Oh my god.
Put them together.
Oh my god.
And
Hey,
they'd be
take a
heavenly.
mac and cheese, load some baked beans into it, maybe load some bacon bits.
What's this maybe shit? Do it. Do it.
Especially for mac and cheese, though, I love experimenting with mac and cheese. Just,
It's one of the greatest bases for food.
oh
ever.
my god.
Because it's just so good.
Not only is it a side, but it's the base for a meal at times. It really
It
is.
absolutely.
You were mentioning this at the beginning, and I'm glad you did, because really, there are some sides that are the meal. Like, that's really
Yeah.
where the meal begins, and the rest of
Absolutely.
the meal builds off of it.
Absolutely.
So, just that mac and cheese, where you could take it, like, maybe you're a little younger and you get introduced to it with hot dogs. Yeah, that's classic. That's wonderful. That's good. But then you get a little older, you take it up to the next level. Maybe you're gonna want to put some barbecued pulled pork in your mac and cheese.
Of course you will.
Ooh.
Why wouldn't you?
Oh ho ho ho!
Whew.
Maybe you're gonna put some shredded mozzarella in there to really give it some body and some texture.
Mm-hmm. Italian meats are always good.
Maybe
like I mentioned before in another episode, bolognese. A spicy bolognese, like a meat sauce, a meat pasta sauce, a red sauce in that macaroni is just phenomenal.
Yeah, maybe
There we go.
you're gonna take up some sautéed veggies, some grilled veggies, dice them up, get them in that mac and cheese with them. There's nothing wrong with that. That is fantastic.
You're
That's
hard
gonna,
pressed to go the wrong direction with mac.
yeah, and actually, Kat brings up a really good idea too. Lobster, some seafood, a seafood mac and cheese.
If I had to do
Ooh.
a seafood mac and cheese, I wouldn't do cheddar. I would do a white cheese.
Oh yeah,
I would
absolutely.
do a white mac and cheese. A lighter cheese that would lend itself to lobster really well.
I would load that up with shredded lobster and scallops.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Scallops, absolutely.
Ooh, maybe
think that's where
some
it's
of these smaller varieties of shrimp too.
Put like just a couple of like a teaspoon of like some Old Bay seasoning in there, maybe.
Ooh, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
There you can get those little bits of shrimp and scallops with the mac and cheese bites together, and maybe the shells kind of catch the sauce too.
Yeah. White Wolf is wanting some tips for Italian, specifically making a red sauce. White Wolf, we did a bolognese sauce one episode.
Yep.
That was the recipe.
Yep.
It was my bolognese sauce, not mine specifically. It's one I took from Tyler Caps and made my own.
If you go back in the archives in either our Twitch page here or the YouTube page, you will find the archives for On the Line, and you can look through these and figure out which recipes you like.
Are we putting these on YouTube, by the way?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
But yeah, we did that. I love Italian food. If you ever want to like hit me up on Twitter, I would be more than happy to discuss Italian food in all its glory.
As would I.
Because,
I love
seriously,
Italian.
like, we could get into a conversation about some motherfucking Italian food. No question.
And speaking of Italian food, something that you absolutely see paired with Italian food is either some kind of bread or a roll, perhaps.
Of course.
A delicious crusty. As we talked about on the bread episode, you get some kind of delicious crusty on the outside, soft on the inside roll. Maybe an Asiago Parmesan roll that has all that cheese just baked onto the top that you can dip right into the pasta and get all that sauce.
I would also like to make a point, because this is a thing culturally now. the absolutely repulsive Italian food joint Pizza Hut has decided to start offering certain crusts with their pizza. And one of them is like an Asiago crust, and it is just garbage. That is some of the worst pizza I've ever had.
I haven't had Pizza Hut in years, and I'm so glad.
It's so awful. Like my girlfriend got some the other night. She has really odd tasting pizza. Her two favorite flavors, or her two favorite toppings, she likes a thin crust, so very little sauce, and then she likes beef and banana peppers.
What?
I don't know, man. She swears up and down it's not weird. It's fucking weird.
That's fucking weird.
That's weird as shit.
You can bring her in here right now. We can tell her it's fucking weird.
She's at work. I would love to, trust me. But I can say that now because she's not here to defend herself. But yeah, Pizza Hut is absolute garbage. But yeah. I mean, as far as Italian food goes, I have worked in Italian restaurants. I know a thing or two, so I would absolutely love to converse.
And it's not just those great kind of crusty rolls that you can get for a side when it comes to Italian food. You also have the baked on like cheesy bread and buttery bread, and it's just like,
oh yeah, man.
There's so many different ways
like
you can go.
Standard for me. The other day I brought home like a whole bag of like these little slider rolls.
Oh yeah.
And we just had the rolls, and I was like, "What the fuck are we gonna do with these things? We're not gonna eat 45 sliders. What the hell?" We went to a grocery store and we bought a vodka cream sauce.
Ooh.
And then we bought gnocchi, potato gnocchi, but it was like a Parmesan garlic gnocchi.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we just mixed that together, and then I took the little sliders and I made a homemade garlic butter, and I just fucking slathered that shit on there and baked them, and they were perfect. Bite-sized garlic breads, you know?
Nice.
Oh, they were so good. That was a good fucking meal. Damn. It's no wonder I'm fat. Jesus.
Oh my god. Don't be afraid of gnocchi, by the way, guys. It is not as scary as it looks.
It doesn't look scary. It looks like delicious little dumplings.
A lot of people are afraid they don't know what to do with them.
Really?
I understand that.
Put them in your face. What's the be confused?
We've discussed this before.
Have we?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
There's weirder shit out there. Dude, the little Asian market that we go to a lot, I didn't know this. They have, I mean, it's an Asian market. It's primarily Korean. So they have a lot of like kimchi, a lot of really, really fascinating proteins. You can get like pig spleen, you can get oxtail, some amazing shit. I would love to buy all of it, to be honest. But we were, walking around, and finally we got everything, and we went up to the counter, and I noticed a little handwritten sign right at the counter, right at the register, and it says, "We sell balut." Do you know what balut is?
No.
You don't know what balut is?
I'm kind of afraid.
Does anybody in chat know what balut is? B-A-L-U-T, balut. It is a fascinating and nightmarish dish.
We'll see if anyone knows.
I kind of want to wait to see if anyone knows. Oh god, Moscow knows. Moscow knows. He knows what it is. It's so horrifying. It is one of the most. It's one of the most horrifying dishes.
All right, what is it?
Ever make?
What is it?
Okay.
What is it? What is it?
I'm Moscow. I'm so sorry. All right, so what balut is they take a duck egg, and they basically let the duck come to almost full growth in the egg itself. But just right before he's ready to hatch, they basically boil it. And you crack that egg open and you eat what is basically an almost fully formed baby duck with just the embryo and the feathers and the bones. That's balut.
I'm done.
They sell that there. I have the chef I worked for in the restaurant I managed has eaten a lot of crazy shit. Some shit I'm not even gonna mention right now because it's fucking horrifying, and he kind of liked a lot of it. Balut is the one dish he would just revolted him. It was the most disgusting thing he'd ever had. I'm not ever going to try it. I don't want to try it. Like, I'm an experimental person. You know me. I'll go out on a limb. I will not fucking touch Balut. Moscow is destroying our chat with just the horrifying.
He's trying to get rid of it. He doesn't want it to exist anymore.
No, just don't say it, God, why? Yeah, it's pretty horrifying. And that's not the freakiest thing people eat, dude.
No.
That's not the weirdest shit you can meet, and especially in like Asia, man. They eat some crazy shit in Asia.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we're gonna take this snake, and then we're gonna take this, little spleen out. Here's some snake bile. Enjoy. You like monkey brain? Here you go.
Can we go back to Happy Place?
Let's go back to Happy Place. I just had to describe. I needed to educate you because now you know what Balut is, and now you have a fun story to tell people. You learned something today.
So let's go back to Happy Place and think of some dishes, some side dishes that I'm more accustomed to here in the North. One of them actually being, and don't get too frightened here, Bahamut.
You just frightened, really, after what I just said?
I pair cottage cheese with a lot of things.
You're gross.
I love cottage cheese.
I know. I'm not like avidly against cottage cheese. I just think it has a weird texture.
2% cottage cheese, I agree. 4%, perfect.
Any percent. I don't give a fuck. It's weird. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, Moscow. Wait. No, Moscow, hang on. I'll change your mind.
Oh no.
No. We have pretty pictures. We don't. That's one thing we lack. Is a visual representation of the delicious food. Okay, here. Moscow, look. Check it out. I've got. I need to see what I'm doing here. Look at these. Look at these pork chops. See how delicious and savory and awesome. They're probably like a little bit sweet, a little bit tangy. They're so good. And then you got like what do you got here? You got oh, this is good.
You know what? Unfortunately, those are actually unicorn chops, so we can't show that again.
You sick fuck. Look, the ultimate spaghetti and meatballs. Look at that. Look how tasty. Come on, look at the spaghetti and the meatballs. I'm not gonna show you pictures of Balut, Moscow. God damn it. I'm trying to sedate you with delicious because we don't need that image. We don't need people associating look at these fucking baked beans. Holy shit. Look at these baked beans, dude. Look at that. The rosemary on top. Bacon just layered. Yeah. That's sexy.
Oh my god.
What?
Okay, so Kat has an actual question for us, so let's try and get back on topic.
Let's do that.
How many people here have eaten cantaloupe with cottage cheese? You scoop out the seeds and you fill it with cottage cheese. I have seen that many times, Kat. That is very common where I live, and it's disgusting.
That was
disgusting.
not the direction I was expecting you to go with that.
You don't pair fruit in cottage cheese. A lot of people will. A lot of people will. I do not. I think it's disgusting. But no, I
have nightmares.
I love cottage cheese. I think it goes well with so many different things. So many different meals.
Definitely think you're weird.
Little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Yes. Also, and I know you don't like these, but there are many casseroles out there that are delightful.
I love casseroles.
Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of someone else. Sorry, I'm thinking of someone else who was complaining about that.
Get your shit together, dog.
I know. I was talking food to someone the other day, and they're like, casseroles are disgusting and horrible.
How can you have such a broad statement? Casseroles can literally have anything you want in them.
Exactly.
Casseroles are disgusting. I don't like every ingredient on earth.
So, casseroles are another really great, awesome side dish that you can make. Whether it's a 7-layer salad, which is a casserole.
I guess I've never really made a 7-layer salad.
It's a casserole salad. It's a salad casserole. It's a
casserole. Passionate about this, aren't you? You're getting into it.
Dan's
about to fucking go off on some.
I like casseroles.
Casseroles are amazing. Why would you like casseroles?
They
King Ranch chicken. That's one of our Texas staples. Everybody does King Ranch chicken here. It's good.
Oh man.
I have had a casserole or two in my day.
I like to do a pepperoni pizza casserole myself.
Pepperoni pizza casserole. Fuck
Yeah.
Hell
Yeah. Get like thinly stretched pizza dough throughout it. Lots of cheese, some pepperoni, some different marinara sauces in there. Oh,
It's kind of like a really thick lasagna.
yeah.
Lasagna is basically just a casserole.
That's all it is.
Yep.
That's all it
Just
is.
layered a couple of different things.
It's magical.
Okay, I will stipulate that a lasagna has to have cottage cheese.
Or the other ricotta.
Ricotta,
cheese.
that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Which is kind of similar, to be honest. But yeah.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. Something about it's weird.
I get that. I don't put cottage cheese in a lot of my
Beef
lasagnas.
bourguignon. Absolutely. I love beef bourguignon. You kidding me?
Yeah, you just
Sit in a deep pan.
you could just whether it's an actual vegetable casserole where you take grilled or sautéed vegetables and you mix them in with a sauce, maybe some noodles, and bake that up with cheese on top. Yeah.
I'm sure it tastes delicious. I usually try to avoid vegetables at all costs when I'm making casseroles. It's like, hey, what kind of proteins and cheese and bread can I put in this? that's really all I need.
I have a really good recipe for a spaghetti and meatball casserole.
Word.
Yeah.
I
Where you
can do
have
that.
sliced meatballs all throughout it. So
Yeah.
all those oils and juices are just going all over the place.
It would be a really good Italian style. Would be a what are those little tortellini? Like a
Yes.
tortellini casserole would be really good with a bunch of mozz
Ooh.
and like a creamy Alfredo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like chopped up tortellini bits throughout it.
Not even chopped up, man. Just whole. And just,
Really?
like, slice up some like Italian sausage, just like whole Italian sausage, like the links, and just like slice them up. Just kind of have the tortellini as the base, and then just do more cheese.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Tortellini's wonderful, by the way, folks. If you've never had tortellini before, do yourself the favor. Especially
go.
like a 4-cheese tortellini that just you can pair with so many different things.
I like White Wolf's idea. A Korean. Yeah. Bibimbap with the bulgogi.
I have no idea
Yeah.
what he just said.
Oh my god! Have you not had bulgogi? Oh,
No.
you would love bulgogi. It's so good. It's just like beef with like so many little things here and there, and it's sweet and it's savory. Oh,
Ooh.
like bulgogi makes some of the best breakfast tacos. Potato, egg, and bulgogi beef with onion is absolutely outstanding for a breakfast taco. It'll blow your
Ooh.
fucking mind. Oof.
Oh,
So
man.
good. I'm gonna have to, man. There's a place right down the way that has those fucking Korean breakfast tacos. I'm gonna have to go get that shit. It sounds so good. They have kimchi fries.
Oh, my God.
Oh, baby, bulgogi, kimchi, cilantro with a little spicy cream sauce on French fries.
Now, you're probably asking yourself, when the fuck are they going to talk about healthy sides?
Never.
Well, let me stipulate this. I will now talk about salads.
See, okay, here's a kind of shitty thing. I love salads. I absolutely do. Lettuce actually makes me very sick.
Really?
I can't eat lettuce. It's the most depressing thing ever.
Wow.
I get very ill if I eat lettuce.
Wow.
Whole leaf lettuce. It sucks.
Have
It
you
only
tried
happened about, like, 4 or 5 years ago? But any leaf basically makes me sick. Like I can eat
so
some,
romaine
like,
hearts are a no-go?
romaine hearts. I can't even have spinach a lot of times.
What?
I can
that
do, like-
sucks.
I've done like chard before. Even like sometimes kale can make me sick. And kale doesn't even really have anything in it. It's
Yeah,
like the
no.
least nutritional, leaf. But
Wow.
yeah, I can't do like iceberg. I can't do romaine. No spring mixes. Nothing. It's horrible.
Wow.
I hate it.
Okay, so this is probably just going to be me talking for a minute or two here, but
I mean, I love salads, and I know plenty about salads. I just can't
salads
eat
are
them.
a great side to put with so many different meals. Whether it's a pasta, whether it's a steak, whether it's a sandwich, it goes really well with so many different things. And whether you're using a spring mix or spinach, maybe you're getting your Caesar on or Italian dressing with the spinach.
Get your
Ooh.
Caesar on.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love Caesar.
There are so many ways you can prepare any kind of salad. You have such different selections of different ingredients you can put together to make something that is going to complement almost anything out there. Now, when it comes to salads, I love spinach. I really do love spinach. Especially baby spinach. So good. Baby spinach, get some Caesar on there, get lots of croutons, some I was going to say sesame croutons, but probably not if you're going with a Caesar. It's kind of getting drowned out.
Yeah, that would be an odd combination. I mean, honestly, like Caesar is probably one of my single favorite types of salads. I have the single greatest Caesar dressing recipe in history in my little magical green folder. I have a green folder that uses like real Parmesan and Asiago, real sage, fresh fucking anchovies, none of this paste shit. I mean, real fishes. Oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's heavenly.
Yeah.
I used to love wraps too. I used to make wraps with a spinach tortilla with a Caesar and the grilled chicken on the inside with the croutons for crunch.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
You have you have so many different textures and flavors going on in that too. That's just magical.
So good.
Yeah.
I miss it so much. You have no idea.
Especially like when you eat it right away. Like sometimes, you get busy and you leave it sitting for a couple minutes, but when you can eat that right away and it's that
fresh.
perfect crispness. Oh, that's good.
It's so, God damn it. I
Yeah.
really want a fucking Caesar wrap. My girlfriend got one at we went to Red Robin the other night because we were trying to get some Thai food on Easter.
Yeah.
And they didn't tell us that they closed. So we just kind of got there and hey, it turns out they're not open. So Red Robin was right next to it. And naturally I got the big fat fucker burger, which is like just, it's just like beef and then like lard and then shame, and then like more beef on top of that. And that's what I had.
And it was delicious, wasn't it?
It was amazing. Like a bacon cream sauce. It was good.
That lard with
she
the
got a Caesar
shame.
wrap, and I was just like crying into my burger and then like staring over at her every once in a while. I'm just like,
So back on point. Salad specifically. Salad is not always that perfectly healthy option, especially when you treat it like I do.
Absolutely.
Now, when I'm making a salad, I'm getting some spring mix or baby spinach. I'm drowning it in my favorite dressing of choice. Now, personally, I'm a big blue cheese dressing kind of guy. Love it. Love blue
God,
cheese.
Love the
Dressing. It's
sodium, man.
great for a dressing. Has tons of flavor to it. Especially when you get those nice chunks of blue cheese in it too. Usually you have to make it yourself to get that, but that's okay. Taco salad, yes! Taco salad is a salad. It has lettuce in it.
See, I can't eat the lettuce, so
Man, I can't do tacos without lettuce and green peppers. I love that crunchy stuff in it.
I mean, if you want, don't get me started on tacos. You know how I feel about this.
I understand. Well, we'll move ahead for right now. Kat has a good suggestion for you, so you should look that up while I spend just a moment here. When I'm making a chef salad, especially, I'm cubing up a ton of ham with it. Fresh ham, cool ham. It's just, it's going to be so good in there. We're loading up with croutons. Pick your cheeses wisely for your salads, depending upon the protein you're going with. Like for ham, I like to get nice cheddar or maybe a provolone in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say that pairs pretty well.
And don't be afraid of seasonings with your salads, too. A lot of people don't put seasonings on salads, and I think it's a mistake.
Season your salad. That was told to me by a professional chef. Always season your salads.
Do not be
Always.
afraid. Experiment with your salads. Try different seasonings.
Just do it.
Yeah.
It makes a difference. It really does.
It's not like it's not going to catch, especially if you're using as much dressing as I do. There's going to be dressing everywhere. Your seasoning is going to be evenly dispersed, rather. Yeah, definitely get your chicken in their salad too. I mean, salad, much like mac and cheese, is one of those sides that also is like the base of a meal at times. Where
Yeah.
you're going to do a giant salad meal and you're putting a protein in it, you're putting, croutons, you're putting your grains in it, you're loading it up with dairy too, and it just becomes this really complete meal for you.
And don't go to a fast food restaurant and order salad thinking you're doing yourself a favor, because you're
No.
not. Like,
No.
calorie-wise, you're often going to exceed that of like a burger. So
It's the
don't-
dressing.
It's the dressing and just the mass in general. They're
Yep.
putting tons of cheese, tons of croutons. That's carbs. Yeah, I mean, it's just if you're gonna get a salad, do it because you just want a salad, not because you're trying to be healthy.
Yeah.
You're not really. You're missing the point with that. They're
Plus,
not healthy.
Especially when you're willing to put the effort into making a really good salad with a lot of ingredients and a lot of balance to it.
Right.
Yeah, it's not going to be the healthiest thing in the world, and that's okay. Enjoy yourself.
Absolutely.
That's
what
the
it's about.
important part. Speaking of other sides that have that ability to be bases for different things and work with other things, mushrooms. Mushrooms are such an important side, in my opinion. I know you don't like mushrooms.
I don't. I can't stand
Okay.
mushrooms.
Mushrooms, especially for pork and beef. Steaks, bed of sauteed mushrooms, maybe with a little bit of a sauce, maybe a cream reduction with it. Perfect. The absolute best complement to, maybe some butterflied pork, maybe some nice cuts there of butterflied pork. Oh, just right on top. Let those juices mingle, because one thing that mushrooms are... Oh, portobellas. Oh, portobellas. Oh, grilled up balsamic reduction portobellas. Do you want to explain this real quick? Do you want to... I
The
see
MSG
you...
thing.
I see you flailing about in chat, and I know you want to talk about it. Do you want to take a moment? Because we talked
Not
about this
much-
before, but it's
There's not
important.
much we have, and there's really not much else to say. Like, MSG is not bad for you. There's nothing in MSG that isn't in table salt. There's chemicals. Yeah.
It's
Just like everything else you eat.
it's salt and 1 or 2 extra chemicals.
Yeah.
That's it.
Monosodium glutamate is what MSG is. If you like the flavor, eat it. Put it on stuff. You can buy it. It's a lot of people like to refer to it as umami. It's an umami flavoring seasoning.
Huh.
Yeah. That's what it is. If you go to a restaurant or if you go to an Asian grocery store and buy it, it's going to call it umami seasoning.
Interesting.
They don't call it MSG. Yeah. If you like MSG, eat it. Put it
Yeah.
on shit.
Just like
I don't like it personally, but yeah, nothing wrong with it.
What am I thinking of? Just like anything else, if you go to excess with something, it's bad for you. But if you, take it as it comes, it's fine.
Yeah.
Now, back on what I was talking about there, mushrooms with onions on a steak is heavenly. Ugh. Oh, come on, caramelized onions.
I love caramelized onions.
You cannot touch the mushrooms.
I don't like mushrooms. It's like the texture is just ugh. It's like eating a really soft condom. That's what I imagine condom tastes like. Mushrooms. I'm gonna pass on that.
Anonymous person, fat and proud. Fat and proud.
Bad and proud.
Oh, yeah.
Me?
No, not some anonymous guys bitching
Who's he
in
bitching
chat.
at? Oh yeah. Fuck that guy. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope.
Yeah.
I am happy with myself, which is why we're talking about this stuff.
I'm fatter than Dan.
No, you're not.
I am so fatter than you. I am. I know I am. I am totally fatter than you. There's no way you're skinnier than me. There's no way.
We'll sort this out another time.
That's a conversation for another day.
Yeah,
Fat off. We're having a fat off.
exactly. Something very important.
I'm interested. I'm actually interested in having that conversation.
I don't want to have that conversation.
A fun fact. A lot of my very good friends are both participating in and having a lot of success with what they call the keto diet.
I've
Which,
heard about this. I still
if you're
don't
not-
like it.
if you're
I
not
still
familiar
don't
with
like it.
I don't either. But you know what? I'm still thinking about trying it because I know it works. I've literally seen it work in front of my eyes. for those of you who don't know, keto is ketosis. Ketosis is a form of starvation where you devoid your body of carbohydrates and sugars. You go through a 3 to 4 day period of withdrawals where you feel like you have the flu. After that, your body starts to acclimate to using fats for energy, and you destroy fat. Just fat. It's gone.
See, that doesn't sound healthy.
It's not. But you know what? It works. And your body acclimates to burning fat. And that is healthy. So it's not a balanced diet at all. But you know what? I still want to try it because I obviously can't get off my fat ass and exercise.
Okay, so this is... this is... You guys can do that if you want. I need to put in a disclaimer here if you are going to do that. Any kind of extreme weight change, whether up or down, is going to decimate your heart. Is going to obliterate your heart. It's bad for you either direction. Slow, consistent loss, if you're trying to lose weight, is what you want to aim for. Do not rapidly lose weight. A comedian by the name of John Panette. Sorry, I had to think about that a minute. A comedian by name of John Panette, one of my favorite comedians of all time, died because over the course of about 6-7 years, he lost about 130, 140 pounds. It's not safe. His heart gave out because of that.
I'm not getting any information that says losing 160 pounds over 6 years is unhealthy. That doesn't sound unhealthy to me at all. Matter of fact, let's do some math here.
All right.
We're gonna do a little math here because I know what healthy weight loss is. Like, I know keto is not entirely healthy for weight loss. But so let's say what you said, 160 pounds?
No, it was more.
What's like an estimate of what do you think you lost?
Because
just throw a number at me.
From let's do 150. Why not?
150 over 6 years. Okay, so 150 divided by 6. That's 25 pounds a year.
Yeah, Cat's saying it's less than 30. No, that's not that bad.
That's not bad at all. Not at all. The most that most dietitians recommend you lose per week is 2 pounds.
That makes sense.
Healthy weight loss. 2 pounds per week. You know,
any more than that, and it's definitely going to be.
That's about 8 pounds a month. So yeah, that's honestly about what you lose with keto. That's really not that bad. But it does completely fuck your body chemistry. So that's a thing.
Even if it isn't that fast, I'd still feel very iffy about it.
Oh, absolutely. And I do feel iffy about it. And I have for a very long time. But I'm willing to give it a try, honestly. I have a lot of very good friends who do it. In fact, I know quite a few casters who do it.
Isn't Eddie trying it?
No.
Is he just he's doing his standard thing?
Eddie is working out. Eddie is he's doing calorie intake monitoring, and he's working out for an hour a day every day, 7 days a week. That is Eddie's plan.
That's consistency right there. That's very important.
And Eddie has had training in working out and exercising and being healthy. So he's ex-military, so he knows what he's doing.
Oh, I didn't know he was ex-military.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
He loved it. As a matter of fact, his story is he went into basic training, absolutely loved it, had a blast, fit in really well, had some kind of weird scalp disease that was allegedly incurable, recovered from an incurable disease, so was likely misdiagnosed. Mm-hmm. And, that's his story. Ask him about it. He tells it actually pretty frequently. Eddie Monster. If you guys don't know the guy, he's good people. Check him out. I watch him every morning. Eddie's my boy.
There you go. Eddie's a ton of fun. I never get to watch him.
Because he's on it like 7 o'clock in the morning. He's the early birdest motherfucker, I swear. That isn't a European.
Is it? He's East Coast, right?
He's Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Yeah.
If he was West Coast, I'd be like, no, he's fucking cheating.
Yeah, it'd be a little weird.
He's fucking cheating.
Nah, he's PA, and apparently he's about to move to Florida, which why anyone would want to move to Florida is beyond me. But
no, Manivore, I haven't actually. I'll ask him sometime when I can actually swing around his stream if I can be awake that early.
Yeah. Good luck. I have to be awake that early. I don't have a choice, so he's conveniently there for me.
Okay, now that sounded dirty.
It was.
Ew. We're gonna move on.
You're just jealous. Don't lie.
No comment. No comment. So we are technically at closing time.
Every new
Technically.
beginning starts with someone other beginning's end.
Great, now we lost the last 3 hours to copyright.
Fuck you.
But we started late.
We did
We
start
started
with-
late. So we've been talking a lot about American sides.
which are my least favorite sides, even though I am most familiar with them and probably, enamored with. I find American food and culture bores me, to be perfectly honest.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. So when it
Okay.
comes to what I assume you enjoy most, which is not just Tex-Mex, but Japanese,
I love
sides.
Japanese. Probably like my two favorite foods, right?
that's what I
there.
thought. So that's why I wanted to ask, when it comes to sides for those kinds of meals, what do you like to pair with food?
Well, I mean, Tex-Mex has beans and rice. That's Mexican, Spanish rice, and that's the best thing about Tex-Mex food is it has so many different kinds of beans. You have refried, you have borracho, which is Spanish for drunk. It is how you cook them. It's kind of like a bean, kind of like soup almost. There's black beans, which are my personal favorite because they're healthier. They have a great texture. You can do them low sodium, so they're not quite so bad. A lot of different kinds of beans. Avocado in and of itself is a side. Just slice up some fresh avocado. Bam, there you go. Obviously, Mexican rice. The very first restaurant I ever worked at was a place called the Jalapeno Tree. And it's all over East Texas. They have a seasoning mix they use for their rice. And I very legitimately considered stealing bags of it at one point because I love it so much. It's just so fucking good. But the simplicity is a really good way to go about Tex-Mex sides. You don't get a shitload of variety. Go to a Mexican food restaurant. How many sides do you see? Usually just beans and rice.
Yeah.
Japanese sides are, I don't know, man. It's one of those things. Japanese don't really do the standard protein side combination. They do dish, family style. So you have miso soup, you have rice, you have pickled cucumbers and daikon, a lot of different things. And honestly, I'm not super experienced with them. I wish I was. I tend to know more proteins when it comes to Japanese dishes because a lot of their dishes are a base of some kind, which is generally noodles or rice, and then a lot of food on top. And then you have a lot of different little things that just don't need sides, what are those things called? The Japanese pancake would basically just mean everything. Oh God, what are they called? Shit. Can somebody Japanese, some Japanese fan in the chat help me out with this the pancakes, the Japanese pancakes. You just put whatever the fuck you want into them. Shit, what are those things called?
I have no idea.
Yeah, God, it's driving me crazy because I do know what they are and I can't remember the name.
All I know about Japanese cuisine is sushi and miso soup. That's pretty much it.
Miyu-chan, yes, I have in fact had lots and lots and lots of wasabi, and yes, it is incredibly spicy. But one of the most amazing things about wasabi is that it's a breed of horseradish, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
And only authentic wasabi is found in a very specific place in Japan. A lot of wasabi is not actual wasabi. It's kind of like how you get, champagne. If it's not from the Champagne region of France, it's not champagne technically.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with wasabi. But wasabi is not used as a dish of any kind. It accentuates flavor, and you don't need a lot of it to to add to your your dish. In fact, I dare say oftentimes it's kind of like pickles or something like that, and that when you add it to the dish you're eating, you're basically just making a wasabi flavored dish. Like sriracha is another way. If you add sriracha to macaroni, you're just having fucking sriracha with some macaroni in it.
Yeah.
you're gonna taste the sriracha, and that you're going to taste the wasabi. So, I would always recommend just very, very sparing with your wasabi. Wagyu beef is the best beef I've ever had. Yeah, Wagyu is amazing. It's
I've
the
never had
marbling.
it.
Wagyu is amazing because of the marbling. The fat content is what makes Wagyu so good.
What's it come from?
Well, I mean, Wagyu's beef. It's cow.
Well,
It's. Are you asking something specific?
yeah. What makes it specifically Wagyu beef?
Oh, it's Japan. It's Japanese. And it's
So it's kind of like Kobe beef.
Kind of, yeah. It's like a
Okay.
cheaper version of Kobe.
Okay.
And it's regional. It really comes down to how the cow is treated, how it's raised. I don't really know that well, to be perfectly honest. So I'm not going to pretend like I'm just an expert in fucking Wagyu beef. But I do know that if you look at I don't know, like a New York strip, and then you look at Wagyu, the marbling is night and day. It's completely different. It's like spider veins, just like, webs of marbling and Wagyus. Tons of fat.
Ooh.
It's just, oh, baby, look up Wagyu. Seriously, Google images. It'll blow your mind. You'll see it and you'll just salivate immediately. Yeah, exactly. White Wolf is like, the marbling is beautiful. Cows have a grain and beer. Yeah. And they get massages a lot. Yes. Kobe is very similar in that aspect, but yeah.
What the fuck?
That's the one, man. That's the one. All right, I gotta fuck. Oh, yes, that's it. Okonomiyaki. That's the Japanese pancake. I want it so bad.
I want
Japanese
this beef.
Don't you want it? Isn't it good? Don't you want the Wagyu?
Like just the consistent
Don't you
marbling
want it
throughout the cut is just.
Isn't it? That you can taste it just by looking at it. Just those veins of marbled delicious fat is just heaven. And you understand why like Wagyu is also hard to find and expensive.
Yeah.
Not Kobe. Kobe is a lot more rare, a lot more expensive, but Wagyu is more common, so you're a lot more likely to find it in the States.
A tip to all of us that live in the continental United States or greater Americas, we don't have Kobe beef.
No, we don't.
No. It may say Kobe beef, not Kobe beef.
Well, I mean, they can't say Kobe unless it actually is Kobe.
Oh, no. Trust me, they can.
Can they? That seems like it should be illegal.
There's an Americanized version of Kobe that is nowhere near what actual Kobe beef is.
Of course not.
Yeah, Rob knows what I'm talking about. He's had it before.
Okay.
American Kobe. A lot of people don't say American when they're talking about American Kobe beef. But that's what anyone in the continental United States sells, Kobe beef-wise.
Ugh.
It's not that good.
No, I mean, if you want Kobe, you're going to have to go to Japan.
Yeah.
Wagyu, you don't have to travel. They sell Wagyu here. So
I need to look. I need to figure out a way to get this stuff now.
you can order Wagyu. Dude, Amazon probably has some. They'll send that shit to you and just fucking packed in dry ice. Amazon will give you anything you want. Amazon is the guy. That's your guy. As soon as I found that you could buy tubs of duck fat from Amazon, I was just like, fine, I'm sold. I'll tell you what I want to do. Amazon sells what the fuck is that powder? It's a chemical powder, but basically all you have to do is make an oil of whatever like flavor you want, and you can infuse it with the powder and make powder. You can make what is it, bacon powder, like just like garlic or
Yeah.
You can make Nutella powder. You can make all kinds of shit. You can buy that on Amazon for like $2.
Okay, so be really careful if you're shopping for Wagyu beef, because there is Americanized Wagyu now apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's not surprising at all, to be honest.
Don't buy the Americanized.
Don't buy Americanized anything. It's terrible. Ugh.
This stuff is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. So an authentic ordered in Wagyu beef rib eye actual pre-cut slice from the cow, about 11 pounds, is $800.
Yep, that sounds about right. That's where you go to like you go to New York and you get like the Wagyu beef burger and you're paying like $40. So, yeah, that's life. That's how you do it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fair enough. What other sides did you want to talk about? Anything else that's on your mind still with that?
No, honestly, I think we really covered. We hit on all the high notes. You know.
And once again, despite trying to get ourselves off track, rather, we actually made really good time and covered a lot.
I mean, yeah,
A lot of different options.
Usual 2-hour time.
Yeah.